Stoneyford has developed a great reputation for good community spirit, provision of great facilities for families and sports clubs and health and fitness, and for general socialising for all the various age groups.
My name is Willie Welch. I've been running a shop in the village since 1990. The development when it started off was brilliant because everything was voluntary back then. I was involved with the digging out of that foundation one Saturday morning, a wet Saturday morning, myself and Sean Kelly and a JCB driver with a foot rule. We measured that, the original foundations. Then there was the local block layers, Martin Raggett, Jim Butler, Oliver Roach. I can't think of all their names, but everyone rallied in. Saturday mornings when the thing was built, we were there to put the tile in the roof, we plastered the outside of it. It was all done voluntary because at that time there was no funds, there was no grants available, so the development was really restricted. It could only grow gradually.
Basically, the community centre, we realised that we needed something more. So the first thing we did was we started applying to the County Council for grants to upgrade the community centre. There was kind of a needs analysis carried out as to what exactly we wanted from the community centre. So we developed a questionnaire, for adults, and we developed a kids questionnaire. We basically sent that out to all the houses in the village and we collated the responses and we came up with a kind of a template of what we wanted. That was always an aspiration, to have a playground. Leader were coming to the end of their programme. They suddenly were funding playgrounds and they had money available. And we were, as they say, shovel ready. So all we had to do was make the application and we got the money. And that's how we got the playground. The other major agency that we deal with then would be the Department of Social Protection, formerly known as FÁS. In its current form, it looks after the C scheme. We benefit hugely by having them. Once we built the hall, we had offices to let. We took a decision that we would offer them a room in the hall. And that's been beneficial, I think, to both. Stoneyford has definitely benefited by having them based in Stoneyford. We have 2 C workers directly employed. So one looks after the street and the other person looks after the centre and the fields and the associated grounds.
So we've been here for 15 years now in Stoneyford. Wouldn't have ever expected to be setting up a physiotherapy practice here. A lot of our clients are athletes and a big part of the rehab process is getting them back on the playing field. One in the rehab process is actually showing patients how to rehab certain injuries, and then also for testing players for return to sport, where we can put them through various drills to see if their damaged joints are up to scratch for return to play. For both our rehab and our testing procedures, we use the facilities at the community centre regularly during the week. It's fantastic to have the facilities so close to us. We can use them as needed, just walking our patients down to the pitch, which is just a 10-second run down the road.
My name is Nadine Briscoe and I run a small business called Thistle Patch, and where I make things out of fabric and I sell them online to mainly overseas countries. The fantastic thing about the community centre was about 2 years ago, this December, I discovered that the community centre rented out the rooms for a small charge. This was amazing because working from home, it's very hard when you run your own business, trying to keep your home life and your business life separate. And so being able to move the business out of the house to just down the road, to be able to see people every day instead of becoming a hermit is just fantastic, and it's really, really helped me in the progression of my business. Within a month of moving out of the house, I had several new products on the market that I was able to start production of and bring on a new section of my business. I find the local community very supportive of the local businesses. Since moving into the community centre, people have had opportunity to discover the type of business that I run, and I've had quite a few commissions from the local area. Also, because of the same situation, I've done work for the Stoneyford Development Association, which was really good fun. It's also given me an opportunity to, this year, run a series of craft classes for the children in the local community, and they were held here at the Stoneyford Community Centre.
All the local businesses in Stoneyford are very supportive of Stoneyford Development Association. Starting with the physiotherapy practice, the local pubs, Jen's Cafe, O'Dwyer's Fuels, O'Dwyer's Engineering, Kebabish, the Flower Shop, Locust Farm and Mount Juliet.
Stoneyford Friday started in 1982. We started with 15 members. Immediately the club instilled a sense of community involvement. We got involved with the Development Association to help a community project, which was the reclamation of a derelict area at the end of the village, at the bridge area, and we reclaimed it and developed it into a picnic area, which is still actively used by the community today. And that project allowed the club to go on and win the very prestigious Feroiga National Leadership Award in 1984.
So the facility at the moment is fantastic because of the numbers that they're able to use the upstairs room for a lot of activities. They have the main hall for sports, and then they have a small room. Some of the kids there play board games, and we do art and crafts and stuff with them. Some of them are shyer, so they're not sporty. So the facility at the moment is really conducive to kind of meeting all the different types of personalities down there as well. And so yeah, it's brilliant for what they need.
Kings River Community works with adults with intellectual disabilities. We have a residential program where people live and work together in a family setting. Our day program offers training in horticulture, arts and crafts, sport, communication, independent living skills and woodwork. Our woodwork trainees become very skilled in all aspects of furniture and craft making. So when Feroiga first approached Kings River with the idea of making a bench for the community hall, it immediately became a real project where we could combine the woodwork skills of Kings River trainees and the enthusiasm of the young Feroiga people.
It's just lovely to see all groups included, from very young to the very elderly, and all brought together in a fun environment.
I'm happy here. I'm convenient, if you like, to Kilkenny. We have friends that bring us in on Friday, and we have our church near us, we have the shop, and it's peaceful. What more do we want?
Well, everybody is welcome to the active retirement. Interestingly enough, generally speaking, women go to these things, but our active retirement group has quite a number of men, which is very encouraging. The active retirement group also organises various tours throughout the year. They were in Connemara one year, they got a visit to go to Áras and Uachtaráin this year, and they were in Enniscorthy and Gorey, and sky's the limit really. We have a very healthy community in active retirement, and as well as that, it caters for fitness and well-being of the group.
My name is Caitlin Briscoe. We went out with plastic bags for the tidy towns and picked up some litter, and it was really fun picking up all the rubbish. The school uses the community centre. Sometimes we do hurling there. We go on nature trails there too. We do gymnastics sometimes.
Tá an Gaeilge go líofa I measc na páistí sa counter, agus tá cáil ar an scoil ag éirí as sin. Gach bliain bíonn seachtain na Gaeilge sa scoil agus sa Shráidbhaile, agus leis sin bíonn board quiz san Hala agus éile bhan mhór ar sin.
The sewing group started in Stoneyford in 2013, headed up by local quilter Valerie Mullally. The multi-purpose room has provided a wonderful, warm, bright, functional room with a great atmosphere for our sewing group. 20 to 30 ladies attend each week from counties Kilkenny, Carlow and Laois. The storage, power supply and tea making facilities makes the centre an ideal venue for our group.
Architecturally, I would think the people of Stoneyford take great pride in what's good in the village. For instance, the village pump, which has disappeared from many towns and villages, is a focal point in the village.
Innisnag Fishing and Conservation Club established this club about 15 years ago as a club, but probably every member had been fishing that river for a lifetime. The purpose of doing that was we wanted to improve the quality of the river if we could, and the trout. The other thing we'd like to maybe pursue, which was originally John Sheridan's idea, unfortunately the man is deceased, he wanted a river walk from Kells to Innisnag, and there's a possibility we may get to pursue that as well. This particular area we're standing in is probably one of the oldest surviving toll bridges in Europe. It's an 11th century bridge, and there's a little bit of work to be done on it to improve it. That's part of the objective of the club. Well, we just wanted to clean up this area and make it pleasant to the eye, so we got a little Department of the Environment grant for these trees. We have 40 odd trees, and they're all surviving.
they have an exchange library. Now the exchange library is for everybody in the village, and whenever the community centre is open, the exchange library is open, whereby people can take books or exchange books. The whole idea is that they can avail of books free.
The Development Association provided lighting to the track for the last 2 winters. It has encouraged myself and lots of local runners to get out and run all the months of the winter. It's also allowed walkers out with their dogs, children running after training and before training. So it's getting lots of use. It's hugely beneficial to the health and well-being of all the local people.
The people of Stoneyford are very proud of their roots, and it's very interesting to see where the hits on the website come from, and it's not Stoneyford, whereas Stoneyford people do use the site. An awful lot of people living in the UK, in the States and in Australia use the site, so these people are still interested.
I believe that hall is used every day of the week now, whereas when it was being built originally, sure, who's going to use that? It'll be only a white elephant. But it took time.
The vision for the new community centre was that it would become the heart of the village for people to gather all ages and all different types of groups, and that's what it is now. It's kind of like a bigger home. It has become a home for the village.
And it's wonderful there on a Saturday morning to go down to the community centre and see the level of activities that are going on with soccer, drama in the hall and coffee morning, and all the locals down just hanging out and chatting and getting involved. Gives you a kind of a very good belonging feeling, if you like.
The community itself brings everyone together. I think the various community groups and the tidy towns keep the place in a fantastic condition. Everyone seems to work together, and I'd say that as a village it certainly has gone from strength to strength in the last 16 years that I've been here, and there's no doubt that this is due to the pride that each group and each person has in the village of Stoneyford.
You're constantly here, oh, I hear you're doing great things out in Stoneyford. God, I didn't know this centre was here, and oh my God, this centre is absolutely fantastic, and how did you do this? It's not just us saying it, it's others.